Moving on through the week tomorrow, unemployment. I'm going to start early in the trading room, 7:15, don't forget. But on to the highlight for today. I'm going to take this after the open, and we're going to zoom in on what happened after 8:30 Central in here. We tried to rally, tried to break, tried to rally, tried to break, and we created this consolidation zone that set up the best trade probability-wise back in here. But before we get to this point, what led us to this point? What did the story tell us chapter by chapter until we got to the point where we had our best chance to figure out who did it? And by that is which way it's going with a higher probability inside this 68 even area, and I'll tell you why in a second. First, let's go back to here. The open, gap open higher. What does that mean? That means that if we have an opening drive after a gap open higher, you got shorts in trouble and it's the upside right side. If you jump back into yesterday's range, you could get all the bulls that are thinking, it's going to go up forever, in trouble. Well, guess what? We got a little bit of both. Let me zoom in on it. What does that mean? In the room, what we talked about was, hey, it's bearish. Well, maybe it's bullish. It's bearish. Not after it happened, but right in here, right in here, right in here. And the market did that. The market did go from bullish up here to bearish down in here and back to bullish and back to bearish. That's how you follow a market. You know, a lot of people are like, I got to go back and forth. You don't have to trade back and forth. You don't have to be long if you're bullish and short if you're bearish, but you should be able to follow the market in that respect. Does that make sense? So that's what was going on in the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes and whatnot. And so as we fast forward, this is after 8:30. Gets bearish again in here, and the market now is looking to stay weak. We had some high volume areas in the mid 60s, which is why it kind of stopped down in there. We had a long down bar, long up bar, which is an important transitional moment. And I had said we're going to at least go sideways to maybe a little bit higher. Be careful getting short after this happens. So it has to do this little dance and go sideways to higher afterwards. Comes off the open. That's why we put a yellow line at the open. It gets weak again in here, okay, and tries to get through 66. Now, a funny thing happens, and you're only going to know this if you're watching. The Dow gets strong, the NASDAQ gets strong, and all of a sudden, as you're coming in back to 68, 69, I pull up this chart and I show everybody what my eyes get fixated on, this consolidation box. The fact that they're trying to sneak out the bottom twice and they keep coming back in it. The one price that's in trouble are 71s. I kept telling. It worked as resistance there. It's not going to work anymore in there. And the reason why it's not going to work anymore in there is because it's already worked in there. It's already testing it with rotations. And the NASDAQ had some buy stops above 0405 even. And all of that. And as it approached here, I actually set it down in here, I think, right, guys? When it got fast. As it approached here, the first time I tried to buy it, I missed it. And I'm like, that's it. So the story goes where it's trying to figure itself out. It's bearish, it's bullish, it's bearish, it's bearish. All of a sudden, you look at the story in completion and say, wait a second. They can't go down. They had 2 attempts. Are they going to try to attack these highs in the top of this box? And when it comes up in here, you also have that in your head. And then you go and buy it and you miss it. And I'm like, that's it. And I told guys, now for sure, I never say for sure, but now there's a high likelihood that you're going to get this rally in here. And then that's what we ended up getting. Now, what helped keep confidence in that prediction was, like I said, the NASDAQ had a pretty easy buy stop above call. And that was right. Where was it? It was above 0506, and it jumped up about 7 handles pretty quickly in here. And the reason why I had said that at the same time was because you had swing high, swing high, swing highs, consolidation, look out above. So above this 0406 area, they had a chance to run and chase shorts out. And that's exactly what they did. It's exactly what they did. And it came and overlapped the chance that the ES was not only going to take out 71 even, which was an important middle of that consolidation box. And this is where the first time I tried to buy it, missed it, and then got it was right when it was trying to get through these reds, approaching 71 and then following through above 71 to take out the highs. See these reds in here? You can't just buy it when it gets above it. But when you put things together and you put the right story together, you know, and the story begins to overlap, that's when you could then put yourself in a position to then, when it gets above these reds, that's the overlap, to be the kick in your rear end moment to get yourself in trades and then watching ancillaries to keep yourself confident in trades.